Hi, I'm glad to come your way. I have good news for you. By the way, in case you are listening to me for the first time, I'm Dave, an architect, a designer, and a life coach, passionate about harnessing my true or hidden potential and also helping so many people to also harness their true or hidden potential. To that end, I've authored or written 14 amazing books and counting, and more than 50 articles on human and organizational performance improvement techniques and strategies, and more. I serve as a consultant on those matters and also speak at seminars, conferences, workshops, and on radio and TV. This is one of my books, The Purpose Compass, available on Amazon and also on CS app. Now, the purpose of this short presentation is to give you some really good news. But before I do that, I have some bad news for you. It's the hard truth every young person needs to hear. Let me ask you a very fundamental question. Why are you here on earth? You never decided to come into this world. No one. You woke up one day to realize that you were in this world and living among a number of people at various levels. Though you were born with certain instincts, for instance, the instinct to cry, crawl, imitate, be inquisitive, and so on, much of what you know now and the things you are able to do have been by means of elaborate learning processes such as social conditioning, auto-suggestion, and so on. The following have been some of your major teachers in those learning processes: your family members, especially your parents and guardians, your friends, religious leaders, especially those of your preference, school teachers, opinion leaders or role models, mentors, coaches, authors, writers or bloggers, entertainers, and so on. These teachers might have influenced or taught you directly in person, for instance, at home, in class, at seminars or workshops, etc., or through the mass media on the internet. Now, the first part of the bad news is this. It so happens that even with their best intentions and effort, chances are that eventually you have been inadvertently socialized to underestimate your capabilities and are thus using so little of your true or hidden potential, far less than 10%. And chances are that your vision or goals are not high enough. Well, you have the opportunity to check and confirm this for yourself. Just go to csapp.com and click the self-assessment link. The second part of the bad news is this. Especially based on what they tell you, and most importantly, what they refuse to tell you, chances are that you think that life is a smooth, linear journey like this. But life, in its truest reality, is much like this. Let me give you some very serious statistical examples of real-life issues that majority of people suffer from, but that which we usually don't talk about, so you don't normally hear about them. First, the prevalence of extremely poor affection for occupations. Job dissatisfaction is widespread. Indeed, if you randomly select 100 people and ask about their work life, it should not surprise you to note that 82 of them, that is a whopping 82% of people, will not be enjoying their work life. Well, of all the people that go to work every day, only 18 out of 100, a meager 18% of workers, really feel good about going to work. A whopping 82% of people harbor apprehension when going to work and wish they didn't have to go to work. This is a major source of stress and ailments. There has been adequate research to understand the various human personality traits found on Earth and the corresponding professions most suited for their respective personality types for maximum satisfaction and productivity. And there are mainly 6 of such personality types and a whole lot of jobs or professions most suited for each of them. Second, most people are not truly fulfilled in life. 2 incidences that hit the headlines in week 37 were that Jared Wilson, a pastor and author of Love is Oxygen, How God Can Give You Life and Change Your World, and Gregory Hills, Executive Director of Counseling and Psychological Services and Head of Mental Health Service at the University of Pennsylvania, had committed suicide. I dare say that these incidences were just a tip of the iceberg. Every day, people commit suicide. And that cuts across all classes of people. The point is that life can be very tough. Let's not be deceived by the fine faces we mostly see around and the seemingly exciting lives people are living on social media. Behind the fine faces, people are stressed. The consequences of stress are so serious to the extent that most of the ailments people report to the hospitals with are not pathogenic. That is, they are not the effects of disease-causing organisms, but rather they are the consequences of stress. It's that serious. Life in this world is a tough one, ordinarily. It means there will be many situations that will arouse various forms of emotions, which, if not well managed, can affect you negatively, your health and your wealth. Fortunately, there are simple and effective ways of dealing with emotions and preventing undue stress. For instance, all negative emotions can be classified under 10 core emotions, and there are specific messages they provide and specific ways of responding. For example, when you feel frustrated, the simple core message you are to note is that you are using a wrong approach in dealing with that which is making you frustrated. It implies that you need to change either your perception or your procedure or both, and so on. I intend to keep this video short, so let me direct you to more examples on CSR. I will do that before I end this presentation. For now, let me emphasize that because the problems are so common or prevalent, though we don't normally talk about them, chances are that you may be affected by them and suffer the consequences if you do not guard yourself against them. The point in focus is that a truly fulfilling life is very important, however, very rare. But how so? Why is this the case? It's because of our education, or rather, lack of total or adequate education. But we go to school for a good number of years. So what am I talking about? You may ask. Well, surprisingly, perhaps not so surprisingly, formal education or schooling as we currently have it does not address the problems. Indeed, formal education or schooling alone cannot. Let me tell you a little more about this. Inference drawn from a study carried out by Harvard University indicates that ordinarily, the formal education system is able to harness or contribute up to just 22% of people's true effectiveness and greatness in life. Studies done under the auspices of other institutions like the Carnegie Foundation for the Advancement of Teaching yielded similar results. In essence, education and schooling are not the same thing, and formal education or schooling alone cannot give us the needed results. Ideally, the religious organizations should be filling in the gap and providing that needed complementary education. But our religious organizations have not taken the bull by the horn, and I discussed that in detail in my radio interview on what the church refuses to teach about Christianity. To summarize what I've shared so far, I would say that life is mostly tough because ordinarily we do not get adequate life coaching in our upbringing, and we also do not get the continuous social support we so much require even in grown-up periods. Now the good news. CS Foundation, a stream human resource development NGO, is poised to fill in the gap, and the free career guidance, emotional intelligence, and general life coaching program is part of the effort. You and your people should be part of that amazing experience. Join this free capacity building program. It's about career guidance, emotional intelligence, and general life coaching. It's free, but not cheap. CS Foundation is taking care of the cost for now with the help of partners, and you are invited to support. It's for a limited period only, so take advantage now. Or you can wait till later and pay the equivalent of $670 for it. Really amazing training. It will show you how to reduce the effects of a life like this and instead get close to enjoy a life like this. We have both online training and venue-based training. For the online training, you can participate at your own convenience. If you can set aside about 2 hours every week, you are good to go. For further details and to register for free, just go to csapp.com and click the login button to take you to the CS dashboard. There, you will find the links to the various offers. When you click to see more about our free career guidance, emotional intelligence, and general life coaching program, it will take you to the main application page. When you scroll down, you may click to apply as an individual, or you may apply for and on behalf of your group, any group, church, fellowship, school, company, club, and so on. At the beginning of this presentation, I cited some 2 very serious statistical examples of real life issues that majority of people suffer from, but that which you usually don't talk about, so you don't normally hear about them. On the individual application page, you have the option to see more examples under the Deep Revelations section. Remember, life is mostly tough because ordinarily we do not get adequate life coaching in our upbringing. Apply now. Remember, it's free but not cheap. CS Foundation is taking care of the cost for now with the help of partners, and again, you are invited to support. It's for a limited period only. Take advantage now. See you in our amazing training.